All right, ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome to the Business Report. I'm your host, Kirk Keller. And boy, do I have some businessmen in the studios this morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
All the way across the studio, we have Bobby from Sunshine State Heating and Air. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, bud.
And then Joe from Ortiz Roofing. How are you? Ortiz Roofing and Pools.
And I'm also a general contractor.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. And Gary from Gary's Automotive.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, Gary, this is your first time to be on the show. I think the other two guys have been on the show a couple times. So let's start with you.
Okay.
Tell us about you. Tell us how you got in business. Tell you why you wanted to go and do a crazy thing as open up an automotive shop.
Sure. So I've been working on cars now since basically 11 years old. I started working at a local gas station, pumping gas and changing tires, fixing oil changes, simple stuff. And by the time I was 17, 18 years old, I was a full-blown mechanic. This is where my interest went into cars at an early age. I've been doing it all my life. 57 now, so that's 40 some odd years.
Wow.
And I started out in St. Augustine. I opened up a shop in 2010 and sold it. It's still operating even today, doing great. And I purchased Al's Auto Repair in Bunnell in June of last year.
And where's that at?
It's on US 1, State Street. 205 South State Street is the exact address. And it used to be the car wash and a repair shop. And we specialize really in all foreign domestic cars. My expertise are in European cars, such as Mercedes, BMWs, Volvos, etc., Volkswagen.
The ones that are actually still made in Europe, right?
Yeah. Or here. We work on everything.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest challenges that you've come up against since you opened? Because you are brand new. Here.
Really, the biggest challenge is just getting my name out there, letting the local community know that there's a trustworthy guy who knows how to actually fix cars, and people will leave with a smile on their face. I don't overcharge people, and we do the right thing there.
Fantastic. Yeah. City of Bunnell. I personally love working with the City of Bunnell. I do a lot of stuff with Alvin and Kristen. How was that transition and moving from St. Augustine to the City of Bunnell?
Oh yeah, very simple actually. The town has been really nice to me, very welcoming, and the growth here is just fantastic.
Oh, great!
I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, because I'm assuming as we get more homes, which City of Bunnell I think just proposed 8,000 more. That's just more cars for you.
That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll take them.
All right, fantastic. Well, congratulations. Thanks for being on the show this morning. How do we get in touch with you if we want to make an appointment or call and ask questions?
Yep, our phone number is 386-437-1035. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Just call and make an appointment anytime.
Employees? Do you hire employees? Do you need employees?
We don't need any at this time. It's myself, and I have a master tech who works for me. Plus, we have someone who just graduated from a trade school. Will be starting on Monday.
That was my next question.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of trade school. I went to trade school myself.
Yes, sir.
My son-in-law got his master's mechanic at a trade school here in Florida.
Oh, excellent.
And he lives in Missouri now, but he got a great job because of that. I'm a big fan of trade schools.
I am as well. I'm excited.
I think if our country would lead more towards trade schools versus colleges, I think we'd be a lot better shape.
I agree.
That's my personal opinion.
That is mine, too.
See, Joe, Bobby,
hands-on.
All your technicians, Bobby, are trade school educated, I'm sure.
Correct. I actually went to college and trade school, so I'm definitely more towards the trade school these days.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about Sunshine State.
Well, originally I wasn't even going into AC. I was doing it on the side, bar backing and cooking, and I was actually in college at Embry-Riddle. So I got my bachelor's degree in aeronautics, and I couldn't get a job. This was right after the market collapsed in 2008. Again, so just doing odd jobs back and forth, and I had to finally stick with something. So I went back to school, to trade school down at Daytona. It was DBCC at the time, but Daytona State, I guess now. Went there and did HVAC, got a job with somebody who worked for a while, and then tried to build up a reputation for myself. And we started a company, Sunshine State, in July of 2014 took a loan out from a family member and built the company up from there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to work on AC and heating systems, but it's very hard, and there's a lot of chemicals that you deal with that are hazardous to your health.
Correct. Yeah, there's a lot of regulations on the refrigerant stuff. We were just talking about that, how they keep making changes to it. So it's definitely a lot of training you have to put into yourself and your guys. So we have a training unit in our shop. We're constantly trying to keep up with the regulations the government keep pushing out. So it's definitely always a changing industry, and there's a lot of overheads to these guys. So it's a lot. Keeps
So
moving.
why do they keep changing out the refrigerant liquid? I mean, what's the purpose of
To make it better for the environment, for the ozone and stuff like that. So they had R22, and then they switched over to 410A, and now it's R32 and R54. And now they already have that plan to be phased out, I think, 10 to 12 years from now.
So is it really, now this is getting into my political world, is it really better for the environment? Is it because the lobbyists are hitting on senators and congressmen to get it passed?
I think a little bit of both. I think it's definitely better for the environment, but to what extent? You know what I mean? Because it does come at a cost, financially. Because every time they make these changes, the equipment pricing goes up, and then your existing system you can't get certain parts for. You can't change the indoor versus the outdoor. You have to change both, so it comes at expense, right? So our expense goes up, and unfortunately, we have to pass that on to the consumer.
Gotcha. So let's say I have a problem with my compressor. I think the compressor is basically kicked off by a condenser, right?
Well, the compressor's inside the condenser. It's pretty much your engine what pumps the refrigerant back and forth.
And that's the most common part that breaks, right?
I wouldn't say it's the most common. It's the most expensive. That's like your engine blowing in your car, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, one thing about AC, everything is fixable, right? I mean, you can have an old Buick and you can fix it as long as you want, right, Gary?
Yeah.
It just comes down to cost. Is it worth it? Is it worth investing in something that's no longer under warranty? But everything can be fixed.
And you just kind of hit on where I was going with this. Is it advisable to fix, or with the units getting cheaper and cheaper that I've seen?
It usually comes down to a budget, right? They don't build ACs like they did back in. They don't build it like they used to, right? I mean, that is definitely a true statement because they've made them way more efficient, right? But at a cost. So as they make them more efficient, your coils are thinner, so they can dissipate heat. The motors are definitely a little more advanced electronics, so you got computer boards in there and stuff. So they're not going to last you 30 years like your dad's AC did, right? But it's not going to take you a whole paycheck each week to run it. So it's getting more efficient, but at a cost, right? You're going to get 10 to 12 years typically out of your systems.
So I see a lot of homes, apartments, and even businesses now that have those units that go above the door, and there's a different unit in each room. Is that advisable, or is the whole house one's the best?
I mean, I personally like ducted systems because you can get cleaner air. You get more
That's what
air
those are
changes.
called?
Yeah, those are mini splits.
Uncle Mini Splits. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So
Go ahead.
those are more efficient based on because you can control the refrigerant, not controlling airflow, right? So if a regular system's ducted, you're going to lose a lot of energy through the ductwork, attic space, stuff like that. But again, my opinion on that stuff, when you have a ducted system, you can add a lot more filtration. You can keep the air cleaner versus a mini split. But mini splits are way more efficient.
Glad you brought up ductwork. How often, because we see ads in the little Mint magazine and Money Pages and all those other papers that's always pushing clean, 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 clean. Is it really important that we clean our ductwork on a regular basis?
I think it's definitely oversold in our market. It's definitely something you want to look at, but it's not something you need like every day or every year. I mean, every 10 years or so. But it's one of those things. If you're seeing growth or having, air problems, then it's something you want to look at and get done. But it's not like a necessity. You're not going to get it and like all of a sudden be happier and healthier or taller or anything.
So we wouldn't really notice it.
If it's not, you don't see growth coming off the vents or having some kind of respiratory issues. It's really usually not a big concern.
My wife is very good at keeping the house clean, but it seems like she's always having to dust, and she thinks it's because we have dirt in our ductwork.
It definitely could be. It's definitely worth something looking at, but also you want to, once you clean the ductwork, right, you got to have better filtration, right? Change your filters more often, have, some kind of UV sanitation, something like that to help break that stuff down.
So does Sunshine State have a service like that where you clean ductwork and you go in and change out filters for people? On a
Yeah,
monthly
we do
basis?
everything. Our biggest thing is probably our Always Sunny Performance Maintenance Club. So we come twice a year, clean your system, check for stuff like that. So we can open up your system, clean the evaporator coils, but we also can inspect your ductwork, stuff like that, if that's needed.
What about changing out the filters? Because we do live in an older community, average age 57 to
Correct.
61
So
years
filter
old.
changes included in that. So when the guys come out, they go through your whole system, change out the filters as well.
All right, fantastic. Tell us the number, how we get in touch with you.
Phone number is 386-627-5500.
And the website?
SunshineStateAC.com.
Fantastic.
And we are 24/7. So that.
Yes, you are. I think we just, I will be honest, the radio station just called you not too long ago because one of our AC units went out in one of our transmitter sites, and you guys got on that lickety split. So,
Awesome. Thank you for the business.
no, greatly appreciate that. Jojo Ortiz,
Good morning, Kirk.
you just take over the show because you've been on the show several times.
Oh.
I mean, you've been here to help us out during hurricane notifications. You've been here to help us out during the radio auction. You're an old pro behind the microphone.
Yeah, thank you for Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate coming on your radio station and the exposure.
No problem. So what's going on in the roofing and pool business and general contracting business?
Well, roofing is really slow right now. What drives roofing is the storms, and we don't have any storms right now. So roofing's really slow. Right now, what's bringing in the money in my company is the pool division, and we're building pools record fast, quality pools. Wow. Because I'm a general contractor, pools are easy. So I build pools faster than most, and I provide a really good customer service. My son Joey goes out on initial visits, and he designs and draws the pool on that first visit for the customer while he's in their house in about 10 minutes. And that's it's a good selling point.
So are these concrete pools or are they the fiberglass inserts that go in the ground?
They're concrete gunite pools.
Okay.
And I use Hayward equipment. And it's turnkey. We sell the entire package.
I didn't realize there that many pools are being built here in Flagler County.
Yeah, there's a lot of pools being built. I'm hoping I'm a new pool builder. You know, I've only been selling pools here for 2 years, but I'm doing really well in the pool industry, and I'm hoping to do 50 this year.
Are you doing any of those heaters that also chill?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cool.
Now, explain that one to me. What's a chill heater?
Well, I'll give you an example. Last year on the 4th of July, my water temperature in my pool was 93 degrees. So I have my chiller set to 88. So instead of warming up the pool, it cools off the water.
I did not know that was available.
It works similar to
A
an
heat
AC
pump,
unit,
yep,
right?
same thing. Yep.
Yeah, it works similar to it.
So it makes it for a more comfortable swim in your backyard.
Yes. So the water.
You actually get that cooling effect that you're supposed to get when you're in a pool.
Yes.
Fantastic. Tell us about your general contracting business. How many houses did you do in 2024?
In 2024, I didn't do any. Right now, I have two houses being built, and I have a big remodel in the C section I'm about to start.
Is that primarily what you look for is the remodels versus the builds, or does it matter?
I look for the builds or maybe additions.
How long have you been doing that, Joe?
Well, I've been here since January of 2000, so I've been working on new construction homes for 25 years. But I got my license, my general contractor's license in 2019.
And I'm happy to say that Ortiz Roofing and Pool, there's 100% a family business. You already mentioned your son, but you also have other family members that work there.
Yes, my daughter Nia is the pool girl, and she's the director. And she goes out every week, and she takes videos of all the projects and puts them on YouTube, and we use them for advertisement. We're a family business.
All right, fantastic. We're going to take a fast commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to finish up our conversation with these businessmen of Flagler County. But before we do, Bobby, you want to say hi to Stephanie since she won't come inside?
Hi, Steph. Should have been in here.
That's right. All right, we'll be right back right after this. All right, everybody ready? Everybody comfortable? Good. All right, ready, Mark? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome back to the Business Report. I'm your host, Kirk Keller. I have a studio full of businessmen. Bobby from Sunshine State, Joe from Ortiz Roofing and Pools, and Gary from Gary's Automotive. Guys, we've been talking about how you got started, why you wanted to get started. I think entrepreneurship is the best thing in America, always has been. I think everybody in this room is going to agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just running into some friends the other day that said that she will never go to work for another corporate business ever again because they just don't take care of the employees like they take care of like locally owned and operated folks do, like you guys do.
And that's very important. If you want to have a successful business, you have to take care of your employees because you need to keep your employees.
Yeah.
As employees come in and out the door, it's hard to thrive and to provide a good service.
You can't do it without them.
Yeah, when I applied for my job here years ago, I think I asked them more questions than they asked me about me because I wanted to know. But during that question and answer time, I found out the majority of the employees have been here since day one, and that meant to me that Flagler Radio is going to be a good company.
That's awesome. You know, you'll make sure the marriage works for both sides, right?
Exactly. You're exactly right. So we talked about challenges. Let's talk about what's been great for you. You mentioned marketing. Your daughter's into marketing. So let's start with that. You got a YouTube channel. You got, I call it Fake Book on the show. You got Fake Book. You got Instagram. You have TikTok. You have all that stuff.
Started with Facebook. Excuse me. I started with Facebook, putting in Facebook ads and doing live videos at the job sites and paying for ads on Facebook and Google. 1 year in, I hired Tamara Daniels, and she started a lot of the Facebook groups in Palm Coast. W section, P section, C section, F section. So that has helped a lot with marketing on the Facebook groups for the community. And also, WNZF radio has definitely helped me with the pool division because my first year I advertised here on the radio and I got a lot of feedback. So that was a lot of big help for me.
Well, good. Thank you for
A lot
saying
of
that.
feedback. A lot of people say, "Oh, we heard you on the radio," and I had two of my daughters doing ads. So
Yes.
the radio here has helped me out tremendously.
Oh, great. Thanks for saying that, Joe. Gary, what do you deal with? Because you're basically a 1 and 2 man
I
operation.
agree. You know, in the old days, to get new customers in the door, because a lot of word of mouth.
Word of mouth for sure.
Word of mouth is where it's at.
I agree.
For me and my business, but you have to get people in the door initially. So it used to be radio advertising. Obviously, is always the strongest. It reaches the most people. We used to have to go into the local penny saver papers or little publications like that. But now with social media, social media for me is where it's at. I'm on Facebook like you, and we see
Facebook.
we see posts all the time of people looking for someone who could fix their cars. A lot of people don't trust the local mechanics anymore because there's unfortunately a lot of shops out there that are not trustworthy.
Take
and
advantage of people.
They take advantage. They don't really know what they're doing, and they're only interested in their own bottom line. Anyhow, I try to reach out to as many people as I can on social media and encourage them to give me a chance. Give the regular shop another chance and see that we're not all the same, and some of us actually fix the actual problem. The auto parts stores, by the way, people go there and they have them hook up the scanners and tell them what's wrong with the car. These readers don't diagnose the car, and a lot of times they buy the wrong parts and find people to put them in, and they're not happy with the result because it doesn't actually fix the problem. And so I kind of pride myself on actually diagnosing the car, finding the actual problem and fixing it, not charging the customer for all kinds of things they don't need. And that's where my growth comes from.
I think
just
that's
doing the right thing.
I think that's fantastic. I think a mechanic, some of the best mechanics are the ones that can hear the problem, feel the problem, put your hand on the hood, and you can feel the wrong vibrations. You know what I mean by that?
Yes, sir.
These machines don't always, as you say, diagnose the problem correctly.
Right.
I just saw not too long ago on Facebook an estimate from one garage that was $8,000 some odd dollars, and an estimate from another garage that was only $1,200.
Yep.
And
That happens in my shop all the time, where people come with these extremely high estimates and say, this is what this shop told me I need. And then in actuality, we look at it and it's a several $100 fix, not a several $1,000 fix. And that's what we do. We try to just fix the problem.
so that one bad egg folks just rolls down to you sometimes, and you're not the bad egg. Just give you a chance.
I'm not a bad egg. No.
And you put your estimates in writing, because that is another complaint
Yes.
that I see all the time on Facebook is, why won't they give me an estimate in writing?
That's
I give an
professionalism.
estimate.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's, all three of you guys know.
Oh, yeah.
We put all of our estimates or all of our proposals in writing.
And not all the parts are the same, by the way. You
Is it
have a
wise to
spot-
buy the genuine part versus a eBay part or
In
something?
some cases, you want to stick with original because they're made they're made to work properly with the vehicle. There's a lot like the new computers and sensitive parts and stuff now that are built in air conditioning systems. The same thing is with cars. There's a lot of computers driving cars now and sensors and stuff, and they're very sensitive. And knowing how to fish out what's a sensor and what's a big hard part that's the key these days.
I can say this. I have new cars, but I also have a 1964 Spitfire.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't have a computer chip that you can say, oh, this is wrong.
That's where feeling it.
Exactly. Feeling it.
And listening to it.
Smelling it, feeling it, hearing it. You know there's something wrong, and you got to find that mechanic that can find that. And I remember in my technical school days, I was in the electronics class. Right across the hall was the mechanics class. Yeah, we went across the hall and hung out all the time, but learned a lot about all that feeling and smelling and touching. And
Those are the cars that we can work on ourselves.
Yes.
Those,
Most
nowadays,
don't have the ability to adjust points and condenser and timing and stuff. They don't know.
Exactly.
Carburetors, all of that stuff.
Exactly. So I greatly appreciate a mechanic like you. You know what you're doing. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Bobby, tell us about your situations and how you reach out to people to come to Sun State.
So two biggest things. We like to invest in our people and invest back into the community that, invests in us. So investing in our people, we put a lot of training into our guys, not just technical. That's the easy route, but we try to teach them to be professional and then empathetic to the customer, right? These guys got to crawl through an attic, figure out the problem, then come down in that 150-degree attic. I'm sure you guys see the attics up there too, but they got to come down and talk to the customer and, tell them, hey, this is going to cost this much, but also show some compassion and empathetic with it. So it's a lot. Trying to teach them to be professional when they walk up to the door. We try to do a doormat, put the booties on, stuff like that to protect your home. You're inviting somebody into your house, they're going to charge you X amount to fix it. You want to make sure they're not coming in with their boots, stomp through your carpet, you know what I mean? Try to just teach that stuff. Also, we try to invest greatly back into the community. So we do a lot of community involvement, a lot of donations, stuff like that, to try to give back to the community that invests in us, So that's probably the two biggest things that we've done.
It seems like nowadays social media is their new word of mouth, because a lot of people go on Facebook and they does anyone know a good AC guy? Does anybody know a good mechanic? So that seems like that's the new word of mouth nowadays.
We do pretty well with that stuff. A lot of people recommend us. So I had a great experience with Sunshine State or stuff like that. So that definitely helps. But social media is the easy answer. But how do you get to that? How do you get to those people to recommend you? Right? Great service.
Yes. Absolutely.
Warranties. And
Your
professionalism,
reputation.
right? Yeah.
Your reputation.
Yeah, your reputation is 100% important. And now there's a new thing out there, and it's not new. I guess it's been around for a couple of years. The hostage situation, where they give you a bad review on Google, they give you a bad review on Facebook. How do you handle that? Because that's public, and Facebook won't let you delete it. You have.
I got an answer for that one.
Okay, shoot.
I just go on, and the few times, maybe 2 or 3 times that I've had a negative review, it's someone that's not a customer and somebody that I don't know, maybe a competitor or a competitor's family, and just respond to the fake review and say, you're not one of my customers. I don't know who you are, so I don't know why you're leaving me a review. And the people read that, because I've had customers that say, I saw that review and the way you responded. So you have to know how to respond to that, so that when people, they're going to read the bad reviews, and they will read your response, and they can say, okay, the way he responded to that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a medical office here in town that's dealing with a hostage. I call it a hostage review, where this person made a negative review. It's not true whatsoever, but she keeps wanting all these free treatments. Well, if you do this for me, I'll take it down. If you do this for me, I'll take it down. To me, that's a hostage review.
Well,
Have you guys had to deal with that?
Absolutely. People are, they get a little crazy on social media and stuff like that. But in our company, we have a lifetime guarantee on repairs and money back. So if somebody's unhappy, I'm going to do whatever I can to make that customer happy. Whatever it costs us financially, we're going to fix it, right? So if we do all that and we get a bad review, then there's really not much else we could do, right? You just got to own it and say, hey, we'll do better next time.
They're habitual complainers.
I notice most of the times when you go back and the customer complains, you go back and you fix it. The customers
show them you care. Hey, we're here for you.
Right.
If it's something we did, we are going to do whatever we can to make it right.
Right. Absolutely.
So is it fair to say that most of these people that make the bad reviews didn't pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, Bobby, my air's still not working?
In our case, it's just somebody that just truly unhappy, not just with us, just whatever it is they got going on. They just need an outlet. That's what it seems like for me.
Gary, I know you're fairly new. Have you had any bad reviews or reviews on any of that?
I've been kind of lucky here. I haven't received any yet. I have all 5 stars at the moment, and I hope to keep it that way.
Fantastic.
But like these gentlemen here, if someone has an issue with my work and they honestly give me the opportunity to make it right, I'll do whatever I need to do to make it right, to make a customer happy. It's not really, I don't really worry about the reviews. I just worry about doing the right thing, keeping the customer happy. I really don't ask for the reviews. If they are that satisfied with my work, they'll give them to me.
If they're satisfied, you're satisfied.
Those are the best
Exactly.
reviews ever, you
Right.
know, because they're organic and, thank God I haven't angered anyone enough to give me a bad one.
Fantastic. Joe, you already answered the question about reviews and how you handle them, so thank you for that.
Yeah, I've been here 25 years, and I don't have any. I have an excellent reputation. I have no legitimate bad reviews or no legitimate complaints from customers, and that goes a long way.
That's great. That's fantastic. End of the show. Bobby, how we get in touch with you again?
You can call us 386-627-5500, or you can go to our website, sunshinestateac.com, and obviously we're on Facebook just like everybody else in Google.
Joe, how we get in touch with you?
You can call my office. The number is 386-313-6055. You can reach out to me through our website, which is ortizcontractingservice.com. You can call here at the radio station, and they'll pass you to us.
We've actually had that happen.
Yeah, it has
that's
happened.
cool.
Indeed.
And I appreciate you guys, Kurt.
dispatch
and
board?
Scott.
Yes. I hate to say this. You'd be surprised how many phone calls this radio station gets and what they ask us. We don't have an operator anymore. We can dial 0, so I think people just call us because they automatically think we know and have everybody's phone numbers and everything at our fingertips. And for the most part, we do.
I've gotten at least 2, maybe 3 calls that
That's awesome.
they call the radio station, then they call our office.
Fantastic.
So thank you.
Gary, what's your phone number and website again?
Yep. Actually, we're building the website still, so I don't have it up and running yet. But the phone number is 386-437-1035, and the address is 205 South State Street in Benil.
Great, guys. Happy New Year. Congratulations
Thank
for your
you.
businesses.
Thank you.
Greatly,
Thank you for having me.
Greatly appreciate you guys supporting Flagler County.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's the business report for this Saturday. We'll see you next Saturday.